Assalamu alaikum my dear students. Welcome to your chemistry class of standard 10. Today I will discuss about exercise questions and extra creative questions of chapter 11 from your chemistry book. At first, exercise questions. At first there is given MCQ questions. Follow the MCQ questions. What is the percentage of ethane in natural gas? Percentage of ethane is natural gas and that is 6%. Which of the following compounds can cause the disappearance of red color of bromine? You know that red color of bromine decolorizes in presence of unsaturated compound, that is alkene or alkyne. So here we can see this is alkane compound and this is alkene compound. So answer will be D. This is the stem. Here propyne combines with bromine, at first produce X, then again combines with bromine, produce Y. Now we have to give answer of 3 number questions. What is the name of compound Y? We know that in addition reaction of alkene and alkyne, gradually third bond is broken and converts into second bond, double bond, and double bond is broken into convert into single bond. So here triple bond is broken down first. There is produced propene alkene compound 1 and these two bromine atoms inserts or combines with the two carbon atoms, triple bonded carbon atoms. So here the name of Y and these two bromine atoms again combines with the double bonded carbon atom. So actually these two bromine atoms are combined where with this carbon and with this carbon. So what is the name of the compound Y? So their name of the compound Y will be 1122 tetrabromopropane. 1122 tetrabromopropane. Now in the stem X compound we have seen this is actually alkene member 1,2-dibromopropane. So this gives an addition reaction. Obviously it gives addition reaction. Then this reaction is used to produce plastic. Yes, it is used in polymer industry and is less reactive than Y. No, it is high reactive than Y. That means alkene is more reactive than alkene. So 1 and 2 will be the correct answer. Now we will see creative questions. In the months of March, June, huge amount of potato rots in Bangladesh due to lack of preservation. Ethanol can be prepared from the potato by the following reaction. Starts due to the presence of enzyme. It is hydrolyzed with water, converted into glucose, and again this glucose in presence of gymase enzyme converted into ethanol. What is the main constituent of petroleum? The main constituent of petroleum is hydrocarbon. Why are alkenes more reactive than alkane? Due to the presence of double bond. I have explained. Give a description of the preparation of methane from potato. Not methane, there will be actually methanol or ethanol from potato. This is actually wrong. So you have to explain the preparation process of ethanol from potato. Analysis of the possibilities of using excess potato as an alternate to fossil fuel. You know that ethanol can be used as alternate of fuel because ethanol also a flammable substance and the combustion reaction of ethanol produces a huge amount of heat like natural gas. For this, if we prepare ethanol from potato, so analysis of the possibilities of using excess potato. That means by using excess potato, if we produce ethanol, in that cases we can use this ethanol as an alternate to fossil fuel, that is natural gas. Just in this aspect you have to describe the answer. Now the second creative question is, a gas is converted to different products by the reaction 1, 2, 3 successively. That means by these 3 reactions. What is hydrocarbon? You know. Why is benzene an aromatic hydrocarbon? Also I have discussed about this in my video lecture. What type of reaction is number 2 explained? Number 2 reaction is just simply addition reaction. Follow here 2 reactants combine together and form a product. So this is addition reaction. You have to give explanation from chapter 7, addition reaction. Analyze the possibilities of diversification of uses of the first reactant gas in the system. First reactant gas is methane. That means you have to explain here multi-purpose uses of methane. You know that methane is mainly natural gas. So we know that natural gas we use in different purposes, and also this methane is used as raw materials in fertilizer industries. So that is urea industry, urea fertilizer industries. So like this you have to explain elaborately about the multi-purpose uses of methane. Now creative question 3. X plus sodium hydroxide, sodium ethanoate plus water. You know that sodium hydroxide is a basic substance, and here this is salt and water, and you know that when base reacts with acid there is produced salt and water. So here X will be an organic acid, and from this salt we can easily understood this X is actually ethanoic acid or acetic acid, CH3COOH. What is an aromatic hydrocarbon? You know. How is ethane prepared from calcium carbide? Also this is described in your book. Calcium carbide, when reacts with water there is produced ethane and calcium hydroxide. Complete the reaction in the stem. That means there will be ethanoic acid plus sodium hydroxide, sodium ethanoate plus water. Is the X compound an acid? Yes, X compound an acid. Analyze. You have to give the supporting point to become X as an acid. So like this way you have to actually give answer of this type of question from this chapter. Also I have shown here some extra creative questions. For example, ethane when combines with hydrogen produce ethene, that is X, and when again combines with hydrogen produce Y, that is ethane. That means the number of carbon will be same in these two products. What is called methylated spirit? Methylated spirit, you know that 96% liquid solution of ethanol is known as rectified spirit, and sometimes to make the rectified spirit toxic, some methanol is mixed with ethanol, and this methanol mixed ethanol is known as methylated spirit. It is used as solvent in different perfume industry and or varnish. This is also used in varnish for wooden furniture, etc. How will you detect unsaturated hydrocarbon from a mixture of hydrocarbons? You know that unsaturation detection we will do by bromine water solution or potassium permanganate reaction. So you have to explain this here. Calculate the amount of X and Y which are produced from 100 gram ethane. That means here from the molecular mass you have to calculate the amount of X or N. So here ethane carbon 2, that is 24 plus 26 to hydrogen, 26 gram ethane. X is produced what? 28 gram. One from out of 1 how many? Out of 100 how many? Like this way. Explain the importance of X in the polymer industry. There is very importance of X, that is ethene, in polymer industry. So you have to explain here from my last lecture. Now X is the first member of alkyne, that is ethane, and Y is prepared from X through hydrogenation. That means it will be ethane. It can be ethene, but it will be ethane, which we will understand from the question. Z is an organic acid whose aqueous solution is known as vinegar. That means this is acetic acid, ethanoic acid. What is gasohol? Gasohol is actually when ethanol is mixed with petrol, then this also can be used as alternate of fossil. This can be also used as fuel in different foreign countries. This fuel is known as gasohol. So gasohol is the mixture of ethanol with petrol. How is PVC prepared? You know. How will you identify X and Y? By using potassium permanganate solution. So here X is ethane, so Y must be ethane, because ethane and ethane are saturated and saturated compound. But if it is ethene, then both will be unsaturated compound. In that cases you cannot give the answer. So here Y is actually ethane. Z can be prepared from Y analyze. Yes, Z, that means organic acid, can be prepared from alkane. How will you understand analyze? Actually, in organic chemistry, all reactions are related with each other. That means you can use one reaction to write the answer or to detect the another compound in another products. For example, here Y is ethane. I have said ethane, C2H6. So we know that when alkane reacts with halogen, that is chlorine presence of sunlight, then there is produced alkyl halide, alkyl chloride. So here ethane reacts with chlorine, produced what? Ethyl chloride in presence of sunlight. Then next step, ethyl chloride when reacts with sodium hydroxide solution, then there is produced what? Ethanol. So you have to write this equation. Ethyl chloride reacts with sodium hydroxide, produce ethanol and sodium chloride. Then that ethanol is oxidized by using potassium dichromate and sulfuric acid. There is produced at first ethanol, CH3CHO, and finally similar oxidation reaction occurs and ethanol is converted into ethanoic acid. You will see these all equations in your book, but you have to just maintain the carbon and hydrogen carbon number of main organic compound. Here your reactant, that is Y, is the organic compound of 2 carbon, ethane, C2H6. So here your product also will be of 2 carbon. So here just you have to maintain the carbon number. Now follow more questions. Butane, C4H8. Butane reacts with hydrochloric acid. When alkane reacts with hydrochloric acid, there is produced what? Alkyl chloride. This is just direct combination addition reaction. What is formalin? Formalin, you know that formalin is 6 to 10% aqueous solution of formaldehyde. That is methanol is known as formalin. How will you distinguish between alkane and alkene? You know. Write the preparation of compound butane mentioned in the step. So in your book there are given different preparation reaction of alkene. So in that reactions you have to use in case of butane. For example, ethene can be produced from ethyl chloride when reacts with sodium hydroxide. In that cases ethene is produced. So if you want to produce butane, in that cases you have to take the butyl chloride instead of ethyl chloride. Another preparation process of alkane is when alcohol reacts with sulfuric acid, then produce alkene and water. Here actually sulfuric acid acts as dehydrating agent. So here from ethanol there is produced ethene. So to produce butane you have to use their butanol. So like this way you have to use these reactions for your purpose served. In that cases just you have to maintain the carbon number. Is it possible to prepare an organic acid from compound A? Yes, from butyl chloride easily you can produce butanoic acid. How? At first butyl chloride reacts with sodium hydroxide, there is produced butanol. Then that butanol reacts with Then that butanol reacts with potassium dichromate and sulfuric acid, and there is produced butanol, and finally there is produced butanoic acid. Now 4 number, follow here, this is OH functional group, that means this is alcohol compound, and this R is actually alkyl radical. If you consider this R for methyl radical, then it will be methanol. If you consider this ethyl radical, then it will be ethanol, like this way. When alcohol reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid, there is produced alkene compound, and when this alcohol is oxidized by potassium dichromate in presence of dilute sulfuric acid, at first there is produced aldehyde or ketone, and finally there is produced organic acid. What is the structural formula of PVC? You know. How can an unsaturated hydrocarbon be saturated? By the reaction of bromine water or potassium permanganate. A is an unsaturated compound. Alkene is an unsaturated compound. Prove it by using necessary reactions. You know that there are multipurpose uses of compounds ABC. A is alkene, B is ethanol or aldehyde, and C is organic acid. So you can easily write the uses of alkene, aldehyde and organic acid. Now Q is an organic compound which contains 85.71% carbon and 14.29% hydrogen, and its molecular mass is 56. The compound is used in many purposes. What is the chemical formula of bleaching powder? You know that chemical formula of bleaching powder is Ca in bracket, first bracket OCl, and then Cl, that means calcium chlorohypochlorite. Also this is present in your last chapter of chemistry book, formula of bleaching powder. Why is alkene more reactive than alkane? You know. How will you determine the molecular formula of the given compound? Actually this question came from chapter 6. You know that how from the percentage of constituent elements and molecular mass, how can I determine the molecular formula? So actually this question came from chapter 6. How will you prepare organic acid from the compound Q? You know that from the compound Q, that means it will be maybe only carbon and hydrogen. So this is actually butane. So butane, from butane easily you can prepare butanoic acid. I have discussed previously. Now more questions. A chemical reaction is given below. Follow here. Ethanol, when heat with sulfuric acid, there is produced what? Ethene plus water. What is gasohol? Gasohol is actually one kind of fuel mixed with ethanol mixed with petrol. Why alkane is called paraffin? You know, due to the presence of a strong covalent bond, single bond. What type of hydrocarbon the product X is? The product X is unsaturated hydrocarbon. You can prove easily. Organic acid can be prepared from X. Similar type question. More question. A and B are two organic compounds having molecular mass 46 and 28 respectively. In some countries, compound A is used as eco-friendly fuel. That means this is actually ethanol, and compound B is chemically very reactive. That is, this is ethene. What is the formula of PVC? Why compound B is highly reactive? You know, oxidation, addition and polymerization are the characteristic reaction of the compound B. That means you know that there is described in your book addition reaction of B ethene, that is addition with water or addition with hydrogen. Oxidation means potassium permanganate solution reaction with ethene. Polymerization you know. So you have to just explain these three types of reaction with equation. How will you convert A to B? A to B means, that means ethanol to ethene directly reacts with sulfuric acid, and B to ethene to ethanol. When ethene reacts with hydrohalide, when ethene reacts with hydrogen bromide or hydrogen chloride, then there is produced ethyl chloride. Then finally when ethyl chloride reacts with sodium hydroxide solution, there is produced ethanol. Like this way you have to easily convert A to B and B to A, which we have to explain with necessary equation. More question follow here. In the successive oxidation reaction shown above, Z is an organic acid with one carbon. Here Z is an organic acid, so it will be ethanol, it will be aldehyde, and it will be alkene. Now follow here, this is organic acid with one carbon. One carbon organic acid means this is formic acid, HCOOH, methanoic acid. So if it is methanoic acid, so it will be methanol, HCHO, and it will be what? Y, if Y is methanol, CHO, in that cases methane is not oxidized. Here one carbon. Oxidation reaction shown above, Z is an organic acid with one carbon. So methanoic acid, methanol, but this is not methane. It will be methanol, so this is will be methyl chloride. It will be methyl chloride, methyl aldehyde. That means CH3Cl, CH3Cl, X is CH3Cl, Y is CH3, X is CH3Cl, Y is HCHO, and Z is HCOOH. One carbon, all contains one carbon. What is X? CH3Cl, methyl chloride. Y is alkene, more reactive. Calculate the number of molecules in 17 gram of Y. You know that 1 mole of any substance contains Avogadro's number of 1 mole of any compounds contains Avogadro's number of molecules. So here, if Y is formaldehyde, HCHO, so here HCHO molecular formula is what? Carbon 12 and hydrogen here 2, 12, 14 plus 16, 30. So 30 gram Y contains Avogadro's number molecules. 1 gram how many? 17 gram how many? How the higher order member of Z can be used to produce soap. Actually this is came from chapter 12, soap preparation, so no need to read. Now a chemical reaction, you know, similar type. I hope this is similar questions. Now a hydrocarbon containing 2 carbon atoms decolorizes bromine water, that is ethene, and produces an alcohol by reacting with sulfuric acid, that is ethanol, and mixing with water. Sulfuric acid produces an alcohol by reacting with sulfuric acid and mixing with water. This alcohol produces an organic acid by oxidation. Okay, what is the name of hydrocarbon? That is ethene. Why this hydrocarbon decolorizes bromine water? Due to the presence of double carbon-carbon double bond. Write down the name of the organic acid using the related reactions with arguments. You have to write the step-by-step reactions. So what is the name of the produced alcohol? This is ethanol, and explain with equation if this alcohol mixed with concentrated sulfuric acid and heated up to then what will produce? Actually at first ethanol and then ethanoic acid. Now fatty acids are organic acid with carboxylic group is present. That means higher member of organic acid is actually known as fatty acid. Ethanoic acid is one of them, is an important acid in their homologous series. It is used to make many important compounds and its derivatives. Soaps are the sodium or potassium salts of higher fatty acid. So what is functional group? You know. How will you distinguish? No. How does soap prepared from fat? This is came from chapter 12. How to prove that ethanoic acid consists hydroxyl group like alcohol. How to prove that ethanoic acid? Actually this is not included from your chemistry book. Also actually how to prove the ethanoic acid consists hydroxyl group. Actually when ethanol reacts with phosphorus trichloride, then there is produced ethyl chloride, phosphorus pentachloride, then there is produced ethyl chloride, phosphorus oxychloride plus water. And when ethanoic acid is also reacts with phosphorus pentachloride, similar reaction is produced, that is ethyl chloride, phosphorus oxychloride plus water. So by these two reactions easily we can understand the ethanoic acid contains hydroxyl group like alcohol. That means ethanol shows the reaction, and this similar reaction when show shown by ethanoic acid. That means ethanol contains hydroxyl group, so ethanoic acid is also contain hydroxyl group. Like this way you have to prove. General formula of alcohol is this. Okay, compound Z is obtained putting the value of N equal to 2. That means C2H5OH. Okay, ethanol. Compound X is produced oxidizing Z. Sweet smelling compound Y is produced by the reaction of compound X and ethanol. Actually, this is these questions also can be answered, but it is actually not included with your big. There is produced a star. Okay, no problem. What is called alcohol? What is write the reason of large abundance of organic compounds? You know functional group of X inside the functional group of Z. I have discussed here. Analyze the formation process of Y from compounds, and this is not necessary. So finally, follow here. The functional group of alkene is carbon-carbon double bond. First member of alkene is A. If A is heated with excess carbon and distillation adding water, then produced. What is functional group? Called propane. How will you delete compound A? Compound A can be compound B. Okay. So actually, my dear students, observing these huge questions, already you can understand what type of questions may come from this chapter. So actually you have to just remember this. In this chapter, all reactions of organic compounds are actually related with each other. You can use one reaction in another cases, just you have to maintain the carbon number. That means if you produced ethene from ethanol, so in that cases also you can produce butane from butanol, propene from propanol, like this way. Or that means you have to maintain the carbon number. You can use any member of a homologous series in case of any reactions. So for this you have to practice reaction more and more from this chapter. So by today's lecture, actually your chemistry syllabus is completed. So take the preparation properly. So today up to this. Goodbye everybody.